Awesome, awesome. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much for your leadership. And I believe now you can see me as well.
And
Thanks to
clearly
all of
see
you
you.
who have plugged in onto this call. I'm so humbled and honored to be here, and I'm going to share with you everything that I've learned, everything I've personally used, I mean, everything I'm doing like right now to literally crush this and succeed at this because well, I learned from the best. I would say I learned from the best. Like everything I know in this industry, to be honest with you, I learned from the gentleman that shared this with me in November last year, and that is none other than Matt Morris. And it's pretty much like doing a copy and paste kind of thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to share with you because I learned everything from him. So thanks once again for plugging in. My name is Ndiho Martyn, and I'm dialing in from Kampala. So I'm a statistician by profession, and I also hold an executive master's degree in business administration. And I've been in this industry for now coming to 10 years. In fact, tomorrow but one, on the 18th of February, I clocked 10 years, 10 solid years in this industry. And to me, after everything I've seen in this industry, there's no other place I would rather be. And despite the storms that I faced in the last 4 years, and that I'm going to be talking about it in a bit. To me, this has really, really been one of the things that has kept me going and getting to be really locked in and knowing that all you need is really patience sometimes, and things you are going to hit a snag. You are going to face a lot of, you know, you're going to face diversity, but it is what you decide to do in times of diversity that matters. Some people actually give up completely and they decide to do something else, and others stick around and make a little what people would call mistakes here and there, but they are actually not mistakes, and I'll share with you what I mean by that. All right, so my journey so far, the last 10 years, well, I got to see this concept through a complete stranger from Kenya. Now, this is a guy that reached out to me on Facebook and told me about travel. Now, at the time, I was running two businesses, doing really well. I wasn't complaining, and I had never really gotten so involved in network marketing because I had had people talking bad stuff about network marketing. Now, looking at all these other companies that had been around for a while, and every single person had their own perception of what network marketing was about. So when this gentleman came and shared, the concept with me, looking at it, because it was travel, I looked at it, I fell in love with it because I saw lots of people traveling the world and having fun. And then I said to myself, okay, so you mean I can actually travel the world and even make money while doing the same? So that to me was so big. Now, all I needed to know was if this company was legit. And after looking at all the people that were involved in the company, because back in the day, I still used to follow Mark Morris and I would read his books, but I had never even gotten to meet him. So that was in February when I got started in 2015. So around May 2015, he was actually coming to Nairobi. And I said to myself, I have to go and meet this guy and get to see if he's real and see and listen and that is where everything changed for me. So I went out there in Nairobi and I was able to meet him. And the rest, like they say, is history. He plugged me in a system that to date I can never, ever forget. And, literally going for trainings and getting the personal development that everyone, should get. So I remember going for an event in 2015 around July, and that was done by another legend in the industry called Marcus. It was just that literally sealed everything for me in this industry. And I remember making a decision at that event that this is what is going to be my career. Like, I am literally going to go for this. Without a doubt. In fact, I burnt all the bridge, I burnt all the boats, and I went all in, closed my companies then. But would that be a very good thing for anyone to do? Absolutely not. Okay. So I did that and I went all in because I made a decision. I'm going to make it. It's either I make it or I make it. There was no other way out. So I went all out. And well, we had an incredible time in that company. Got to the top rank in less than 3 years. And I had a couple of people in my organization hit the top rank as well. And then that is when, COVID hits. And when COVID hit, a lot happened. We lost that company. And then most of us, just left and went different ways. And boy, oh boy, has it been a journey. Like the last couple of years, 4 years, trying out this, trying out that, trying out this, it's not been easy. And again, I'll also explain, because specifically tonight, I really want to talk about the invite. The invite. And I had a call earlier and someone was asking me how I'm able to invite people. How am I able to invite people? How am I able to even sign up so many people, being on the leaderboard every single month? And I'm going to come to that as well. So coming to that, with all these other companies that kept reaching out and saying, hey, come on here. We have this and this and this, but we shall have this as well. So if you come through, you'll probably do this and that. So we always went to those, like, I don't know. I went to about 3 companies. I think 3 in the last 4 years. And just because they had a travel piece, but the travel piece that never really materialized. And to me, I felt like I was really passionate about travel and I needed something like that. So in as much as I would try to say, okay, fine, maybe I need to try out something else, but then nothing seemed to be going my way. And while I was there in that state of confusion, I get a call. I get a call from Martyn, and he tells me, hey, this is it. This is Viago. So I looked at Viago, and again, the rest, like they say, is history. We are on a run, a massive run, and I want to congratulate all of you on this call because I truly believe what we have our hands on is massive, and I need you to wake up today. For I'm going to share with you the tips or what I'm using, and I don't know if it is extraordinary or it is just the usual, but I'm just going to share it regardless. And if it helps you out in building your business, why not? Because that is what I'm using and I'm not about to change it. I'm just going to continue doing that and also helping others grow as well. So I chose Viago because to me, I thought, yes, travel was the number one reason why I got into network marketing, and getting to see travel coming back and looking at the product offering for Viago, I also saw that it even is better than what we had before. So it was so easy for me to say yes to it because, and again, I want to give props to Matt because I've also learned something from the time he invited me to see this. He is a guy that will under-promise and actually over-deliver, because when he was talking to me, he literally didn't give me all the details. And I've learned a lot about that because when he told me about the compensation plan, well, he mentioned the residual income, and the residual is actually, super, it is so awesome. However, there's lots more that he didn't even mention that I got to see as I went along and got to, like, for example, the rank of Saphire. Helen, you'll agree with me that when you get to the rank of Saphire, it's a whole different world. And this, I will say it right here, everyone should really, really strive to at least get to Saphire. That is when you start seeing things and you're wondering, you're like, wow, okay, what is this? What is happening here? Is this real or am I dreaming? So, and he never mentioned anything like that to me. I just came to discover it much later, and I'm like, wow. Had you even mentioned this, even without the presentation, I would have jumped in, you know? So that is what I felt like. And I'm thinking, oh, so it's actually good to under promise and then over deliver. So most people that are really watching us from the sidelines, and they're still watching and trying to and contemplating whether to jump in and come and do this with us, they haven't seen nothing yet. Now it is going to come. There's going to come a time when they will wake up and get to see what we are working on. And again, usually being at the beginning is not so easy. So the beginning is not always so easy, but if you stay put, because I promise you, I built my former company from scratch. I was the first Ugandan that got started, and I remember zero left, zero right. And I remember really struggling because I was new in the industry and talking to people who did not believe in, who had a bias about network marketing, number one, and then talking about travel, something that they would tell me Ugandans don't travel. So how is this even going to work? But hey, I had personally never seen the airport empty. So sometimes you need to really be careful with the kinds of people that you listen to out there. So you could be listening to people, but unless you are willing to, unless you can actually trade places, if you admire where they are, maybe, just maybe, but if you can't even afford to trade places, then I mean, one of my mentors used to tell me, why would he listen to you? If he is making 100 grand a month or 100 grand a year, why would he listen to someone that makes, like, let's say 2,000 or maybe 1,000 a year, you know? So clearly looking at you getting to share this with everyone out there. And again, because when I got started, I mean, I'm going to share this literally and tell you that it's not like I'm not getting rejections. I am. But do I even care about the rejections? No, I don't. And am I getting people that are asking me why I've been in so many companies and whatever? I am getting so many of those. And I'm going to tell you how I classify all of them and how I get to give them the responses according to the training I got. Okay. So for most of you who know the personality colors, green, yellow, blue, and red. So what I will tell you is this. Now I'm coming to the invite right now. So I'm coming to the invite. Okay, David, I see you're yellow. Okay, great. So let me start with yellow. So the yellow people are these compassionate people. They will do anything to avoid a conflict. They are really so soft at life, like anything, you know. They if you go at them with, you know, shouting, they'll just close. They'll go off, really. Like they won't even listen to anything that you have to tell them. Okay, so let me start off with the yellows. So this is how I get to invite some. When I'm inviting you and I realize you're yellow, Helen, I think there's someone speaking language. I think there's someone trying to, maybe it's the translation bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
If it's a translation, yeah, please go ahead. I've just saved it. I don't know, something popped up, but I think it was to do with the translation. So yeah, I hope it's okay. You can confirm. You can chat with them and confirm if they are doing the translation. So, okay, great. So I'm talking about the yellow. Now, this is how I get to invite a yellow. So when I say, hey, I am working on a very big project, and I could say, are you still passionate about travel? Okay. And when they say, yeah, like actually every single person I've asked if they're passionate about travel, they've responded and said, yes, they are. Okay. Yes, they are passionate about travel. Then I'm like, to some people, of course, also when you're inviting, you need to know if you know this person, and maybe if you've done business with them in maybe our former company, that's an easy invite, by the way. That's an easy invite because you can say something like, are you still passionate about travel? Then they say, yes, we just launched this company about 2-3 months ago. You can even go straight at it and say, have you heard about Viago? Okay, have you heard about Viago? When they say, no, I haven't, then you're like, good, kindly watch this 10-12 minute video and get back to me. All right. So then they watch the video. Now, I need to tell you this. For those who are using that video that we have, especially the one that is done by Matt Morris, because I know how it ends. I haven't watched all the others, but that one I know how it ends. So it ends by asking, are you an A, B, or a C? All right. So this is what you need to ask. Please, every other thing that you know about asking when someone gets to see the presentation of, are you ready to get started? No, don't ask that. Just say, are you an A, B, or a C? That's all. That's all. That is what you need to be asking. Are you an A, B, or a C? Now, the reason for that is, first of all, you're confirming if they actually watched the whole video, because some people don't watch the entire video. So if they don't watch the entire video and you ask if they're ready to get started, they'll give you an objection. They'll say, you see now, no, I'm not looking at that right now. I'm still doing something else. They haven't watched the entire video. So if you ask them, are you an A, B, or a C? In most cases, they'll say, okay, let me go back and watch it. Because they don't know what A means. They don't know what B means. They don't know what C means. All right. So they'll say, okay, let me go back and watch it. Now, there you've got them. They've not watched the entire video. So they'll go back and watch the entire video. Then they'll come back to you. And in most cases, they'll come with either an A or a B. And then even if it's a B, by the way, and if it's a B, that can easily be moved into an A. And if it's a C, no problem. You tell them, yeah, that's okay. I mean, it won't affect our relationship. I was just sharing this with you because, man, we just got started. We are at the foundation level. So yeah, so mark that. Make sure you know how to ask for a sale after they've watched the video. So it's, are you an A, a B, or a C? Don't forget that, because if you ask anything else, if they haven't watched the video, then trust me, you won't get the right answer. And eventually someone will meet them, show them physically, and they'll sign them up. I hope you don't complain, right? So now, coming to how I get to respond to people according to their personality. So if you're coming to me as a yellow and you're asking me, you're like, so all these things that have been happening, I mean, I just want to give it time to wait to see what happens so I can come to you. Or they've come to me, or let me even say this directly. If someone comes to me and says, but Martyn, I've seen you move from this company to this company to this company. Then if it's a yellow, this is how I'll respond. I'll be like, I know Nisa, you're on the call. Nisa, you're yellow. So I'll say like, Nisa, look here. I mean, I totally get it. I understand. And see, when Wild Ventures went down, all I had to do was to look for something that would get me, that would earn me an income to be able to take care of my family. I needed to get to put food on the table. So I had to look out for ways and how I could do that, and also be able to take my children to school, because the kind of income that I was used to, it obviously went down, and I've just been moving from here to there, to just like anyone would have and maybe a job, and they switch jobs from job to job just so they can get a pay raise, just so they can get something that is paying them better. And that's exactly what I was doing until now that I've gotten something that I'm truly passionate about, and which is travel. And because we've been there before, we've done this before, I truly know we are going to make a great team. You and I could team up and make a great team. So that is how I would respond to a yellow. Now check this out. This is how I would respond to a red. You come to me and you're telling me, usually the reds will come at you accusing you and saying, you've been to this and this and this and this, so why are you convincing me to come to you? What if, first of all, I'm not even convincing you. But this is how I'll say. Now, jokingly, and this, I've used it, I'll use it on someone that I really and truly know. So I'll go like, So you've been from company to company and ABCD. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Damn right. I have moved to this, from this to this. And then I'll be like, so many multi-millionaires in this industry have even gone through 13 companies, 15 companies, and it never stopped them from winning. And I have just done 5. Do you want to wait for me to do 15 first? Or I could go like, let me ask you a question. Like, before you got married to the wife that you have, how many girlfriends did you have? And did that stop you from, going ahead and looking for the perfect person? Like, come on, going through companies is not a problem. And again, for me, and then I'll go like, I have learned a lot. Be going through all these companies, well, I've learned a lot. David, I like that. I'm like, I've gone through this, I've learned a lot, and I've gotten to see lots of things that I would never have known in this industry. But because of that experience, that was a very good learning experience for me, by the way, and I can never trade it for anything. Now, getting here, now I know what I want, and I'm going for it, and I'm not stopping. And because my why is so strong that and there's no amount of no that can shake me even a single bit, because I know where I'm headed, I know what I'm doing, and even if you say no to me, I'll go on to the next one, and that is how I get to forgive. And again, I'm not showing this presentation to one person twice. I can't show this to you twice. I will show this to you once, because in Uganda alone, we have 45 million people. Like, come on, I haven't even done nothing. Like, literally, I haven't started. Because when you look at how many people out there want this opportunity, obviously, we haven't even scratched the surface. We haven't even started, right? So anyone coming to you like that, so that's how I would go at a rate, really and truly. Like, and as for a blue telling me, okay, so ABCD, you've done this, you've done, how do I even, know that you're not going to move? I'm like, come on. First of all, come, let's go to Dubai. We are going to Dubai in 3 weeks. Why don't you come and meet the founder? Why don't you come and meet the top leadership in Viago and get to decide for yourself? Why don't you come? We are going to Dubai. Now, when a blue gets to hear about, hey, travel is even happening immediately, well, they probably won't even say second guess. They'll say, okay, come on, let's go. We are going to Dubai. Now, for a blue, it is so easy. Just tell them about travel, okay? Tell them about travel. As for a green, show them the difference between the compensation plan they had before and what we have. And I'm talking specifically to the people that have been in the industry. Now, and I need you to really get it from that point, from the people that have been in the industry, because those are the low-hanging fruits that we have right now, okay? And there are so many spread across, but some of them are still watching. They're watching. And by the way, there's no one that watches you like someone who has said no to you and they're still there waiting. They're watching you. They want to see what you're doing. They want to see if you're actually growing. And if you're growing, sooner or later they will reach out to you and tell you, hey, now I'm ready. So just stay persistent, consistent, and don't even sit down to wait for one that you've already told. No, continue talking to every other single person. So for a green, go ahead and show them the difference. Now, in our former company, the residual income was always up to, like you would say, up to $500, up to $2,000. But here, this is where you get guaranteed residual income. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, when you look at the direct commission alone, I know most of you here know what I'm talking about. When you look at the direct commission alone and look at the cycle bonuses and look at, wow, as for the generational check match, incredible stuff. So get to Saphire. Saphire is where you start testing financial freedom. I don't even know what rank I can equate Saphire to, but I mean, I'm looking at the check and I'm thinking, oh, man, like, so if we all become Sapphires, what will happen? Like, really and truly. Tonight, I'm going to make you fall in love with getting to Saphire. Trust me, because Once you get there, it's a whole new level. I don't know about Emerald yet, but I'm about to check that in the next couple of days. And then I'll come back here and tell you what Emerald looks like, because come on, looks like every other level, there's a lot of stuff that is exciting. And that is why, and today I was talking to one of my team members who just hit 5 squared, and she missed last month because she was lacking one person. And I told her, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, and then she didn't. So today when she hit that, and then she saw $50 pop up there, she's like, so what is this 54? I'm like, that's residual income. It's like, what do you mean it's residual? So I'm like, yes, now that will be paid to you next month between the 20th and the 25th. That's residual. I'm like, but you know what? You can actually increase that. If you hit 10 squared, that will change to 200. She's like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And guess what? If you make that 25 squared, that will move from 200 to 500. Now, that is how you catch a green. See, a green wants to see the figures. They want to see that the money is actually there, and they will see it. Once they see it, they're good to go. When they come in and they actually do the same thing and they get to see it, you have a green for life. Okay. The other color is what? I talked about yellow. I talked about blue. I talked about green. I talked about the red. The reds are really, I love really interacting with the reds because they come with serious questions, and I also have a way of twisting it. Like every single person, I literally have an answer for them. And I know most likely I'm not going to share everything that I probably should, and with regards to really overcoming objections, but there are several ways you can overcome objections. And then also, as you're inviting people, now some of you are even scared of inviting people that you were with for some reason. I don't know, like I don't even know why you shouldn't invite some, because what's the worst that will happen? The worst that can happen is for them not to even jump on a call or not to even meet you. And that's okay too. So, but again, if you don't invite, so what happens if you don't invite them and then tomorrow you see someone else inviting them and then you feel bad about it? I've seen that happening. So for me, what I'm doing is, see, again, being on the leaderboard every single month. And in fact, if I didn't even have to really like go out there and support the team, maybe I would be doing 30 personals plus every single month, because my team here in Uganda knows, like every single day, we go to a certain place called Canary Hotel. I am there doing presentations for every single person. And then at 6 p.m., we get into the boardroom and and they invite their people, and then I do the presentations. Now, the only free time that I get is when there is no one who is bringing anyone for me. And then that is when I make calls, my own calls for my own people. Or the moment I leave the hotel and I'm on my way home, or when I get home late in the night, that's when I start inviting my own people, because then that is my own time. Now, I am also doing my personal production. So, but I'm teaching every single person to be able, especially my team, to be able to do the same exact thing. Because once I do that and we duplicate that, then we are about to explode in a way that I've never imagined myself. Because number one, I'll tell you straight up, I'm really freaking hungry. I'm hungry. I just want to really kill this thing. And I am not stopping at anything. No one is going to stop me. I am talking to every single person. I will call you and show it to you. You tell you, I don't care what you say about me. Like, what can you possibly say? And again, if I tell you about it and you shut me up and all that, I'll be like, okay, fine. I'll just make sure I'm friends with you on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. Like, unless you unfollow me. But hey, we're about to do this thing and take it to a whole new level. And that is the energy. Actually, every single person that gives me a no, that gets me more fired up, because I want to show you that I can kill this again. Now, when I got started in Viago, the first people that I tried to call were the very first people that I called in 2015 when I got into this. And I'm like, hey, buddy, we are back. Remember, I told you this in 2015. So are you ready to? And you saw what we did. You saw how crazy a run we made back in the day. Now we are back. I mean, COVID hit us. We went out. It's been 4 freaking years, man. It's been 4 sad years, but now we are back. Are you ready to lock arms with me right now, or you want to watch me again? You know, do you want to come and run with us now, or you want to watch us win again? Okay, because I know I got so many people reaching out later, like 2018, 2019, saying, hey bro, why didn't you force us to get in? Why didn't you force us? Why didn't you tell us this thing was going crazy? Now I'm calling those people and telling them, hey, this is the second chance. You have a second chance in front of you. So are you ready to come and run with us, or you're still going to watch and regret later? Boom. Then I go into the next person. Now, with the people that say no, I love that. Because, man, if there were no no's, I don't know where I would be. Because back then in 2015, it is the people that rejected me that actually got me where I was, because I wanted to do this to actually show them that this really works. So right now, and again, with the experience that I've gotten over the years, and I know we have so many new people, coming in, people that have never experienced this industry. So for some reason, rejection kind of hits you in a negative way, and you feel so bad and you feel like quitting. Come on. I just want to tell you, stick with us. Stick with us. I mean, we've built thick skins of a rhino. There's no amount of no, there's no amount of negative vibes that anyone is going to tell you that we don't know how to solve. Look at all the leaders growing in here. Jump onto these trainings every single Sunday, 9 p.m. Ugandan time. I don't know what time zone you are, but every single time there's a training. Oh, go for these trainings. Go to Dubai, for example. It's 3 weeks away. Make sure you go for these trainings and get to see other people, get to hear other people's experiences. But if someone says no to you and you go to your house and you keep to yourself, you're never going to come back up. You're never going to. It's really hard. And let me tell you, this is the hardest this will ever be. I promise you, this is the hardest this will ever be. We are pioneers. And it's never easy to start something. It's never easy. It's always going to be hard. There's a lot of things that will happen, a lot of glitches in the back office here and there. Sometimes some delays can happen. That's okay. I can tell you from where I've come from, oh man, this is just nothing. And if you go out there and you're talking to people who have never heard about this and they try to talk you out of it, just stay closer to the fire. Plug in on these calls, get to see other people's stories. You'll be encouraged, and it will keep you long enough in the system for you to be able to finally grab it and win. But if you go and then you leave even the WhatsApp group pages, you don't attend any calls, you don't attend nothing, you're gone. And I promise you one thing, 1 year from today, 2 years from today, you're going to see the people that you were with going all the way to Black Diamond, and you'll be like, wow, I should have been the one. I should have been there. I should have been there. There's nothing that hurts than you getting to regret why you didn't give it a shot. That is the saddest thing you can ever do, you can ever have, because we are, I mean, we are at the very beginning, because this company is hardly how many months? I think we launched officially on 3rd of December. So those are 2 months. 2 months. Can you believe that? Just 2 months. So, but the rate at which the company is growing, the rate at which leaders are popping up from left, right, and center, it's just amazing. So I don't know what else I would share in this case, but as for the invitation, truly speaking, I feel most of you are really scared. You are scared to invite people for some reason, and no one is going to beat you up. No one is going to slap you. No one is going to do anything to you. Just invite them. People are out there looking out for an opportunity. You're not telling them fast enough. Go ahead and tell them. Just tell them. If they say no, it's okay. Now, when they say no, go on to the next person. Do not despair. You have 8 billion people all over the world. For crying out loud, this is a business that opens you to the entire world. So you are you can invite anyone that you want out there and get them to see the presentation. Some of you feel so, some of you feel, I don't even know how to call it, but some of you feel shy and you feel maybe if you talk to someone about this, they'll think of you in another way. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, let me put it this way, not to brag really per se, but when I look at my $3,000 weekly check, and then you tell me someone is going to insult me, or you feel embarrassed, like how many opportunities out there would you really make, would enable you to make about 3,000 a week? Like, how many opportunities? Yeah, like how many? I don't know any other, because you decide how much you want to make here. You decide how much you want to make here. So if I come in here and I am looking at my weekly check, I'm thinking, how do you even start laughing at me? You see, you can laugh at me right now because I am building solid. I am talking to every single person. You can laugh now, but believe you me, 1 year from today, that check is going to, I don't even know if there's any word to describe that, but it will go nuts. It will go nuts. And to me, I've made a decision. I don't even know if I should say it here, but my dream, my, like, what I'm aiming at by December, it even scares me as well. But guess what? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And I have done the math and calculated and looked at the numbers, and I'm see if I continue working and pushing the way I'm pushing, it's gonna happen. Without a doubt, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and all we need now is to have each and every one of, because it's not winning unless all of us are winning. And the other thing that, because this is a new back office, everything is new, so we are learning as we're going along. So please just feel free to ask anything, because you might ask me something in the back office that I don't even know. But I'll tell you one thing that you need to know. See, don't only focus on getting your six to have your monthly fees waived. Gone are the days. Like, we cannot keep focusing on just having the monthly fees waived, because the monthly fees, you're only looking at $99 or $50. You're just looking at that getting waived. And again, when you compare with what we had before, we still paid the monthly fees. And what happened at the end of the year? We would only get points to use to book other trips. Here, you consecutively pay your monthly dues, and at the end of the year, you have a 7-night hotel getaway trip, like, you and your entire household. Like, this has never happened before. You can't even compare it. You can't compare with the old company. So even if it were you you keep paying your monthly dues, either way it's cool, because still you get that money back. It's your money. Each point is $1, and you can use that to book another escape within the year. So what would stop you? And so for you to look at having your monthly fees waived to get only 6 personals, I would highly recommend, if you really and truly want to go Black Diamond, I need you to look at 30 personals. I'm not saying 30 personals in a week, 30 personals in a month, 30 personals in 2 months. No, but have a target of, even if it's an annual target, like, you are going to have at least 30 personals. So be it. Just open up your mind. Don't only look at 6, and when you get 6, you want to sit down and relax. No. Go on, look at 30 personals, especially if Black Diamond is your goal. Okay. And again, 30, when you get to 30 personals, and even when you get to Saphire and start seeing how the checks are coming in, I'm sure you will even look at 30 personals and you want to double that and get 60 personals, because it gets insane. It gets ridiculously good if you have so many personals. People that you've enrolled yourself, your directly sponsored people. That's what I mean. That is your first level, and the first level, right? And get to duplicate that, get to help them by plugging them in the system that is already available for us. Like the team, the leaders have already put things together for us to use. You can even use the videos alone and you will still make an incredible amount of money. So I was looking at one of there's someone who had put I forgot it. I think Nisa, oh yeah, exhausted. You put something that you feel exhausted. Is it you who feels exhausted, or the people that you contact? They let you know how, they tell you how exhausted they are. Now, I've also met such people. Let me tell you how I get to respond to them. So I reach out to someone and they tell me, Martyn, to be honest with you, oh man, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. This is not something, I don't want to get back there. I did that, and those are the people that you need. Those are the people that you need. Just get to them and break it. Just ask for well, this is how I do. I don't know about how you would handle that, and especially the relationship you have with that kind of person. But to me, this is how I would handle it. So I would make sure I get to meet you in person. And then I first of all tell my story. I tell you how, like, what I have gone through. Now, by the time I even tell you what I've gone through, you're literally seeing how how fresh you are, because you get to know that you are still fresh. If there's anyone that should be exhausted, that should be me. And I'm not anywhere to exhaustion, not anywhere close. So then I get to show you what I've done in the last couple of weeks. And not only what I've done, but get to show you the potential of what you could get if you decided to do this. Because either way, you still talk to people anyway. You still refer people to things anyway. You still do it for free. And again, if you really and truly loved what, and especially for those that were together in the same company, if you enjoyed what we had, if you made some crazy income back in the day, and this happens to be even a better opportunity, like, what exactly are you doing right now that could beat this? Really, like, take a look. I get to show you, break down the compensation plan for you. And in most cases, I've gotten such people. There are so many people. I remember there's even a time I spoke to Helen Mandishon. I remember how you got me, you told me, oh man, Martyn, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. And I remember sharing something with you now in the same regard. You remember?
I was tired.
Oh yes, oh yes. So in the same regard, every single person that I reach out to and they tell me that, I just sit them down and I talk to them, and I know they'll be in. And when they come in, they kill it. They kill it. I know one of the people here on the call from Uganda today just hit 5 squared, and I'm sure she's going all the way 10 squared, because she is like blown away. You know, most people will tell you they're exhausted because they don't know exactly what this is about. And you might not have to leave them. Such people, you don't just leave them, just give them a bit of time, but also plan on having a physical meeting with them, because Zoom presentations, because for me, I'll be honest with you, I had a number of people reach out to me when Viago was pre-launching. So they would reach out to me and tell me, hey, Martyn, we are pre-launching this. I wasn't even looking, really. I wasn't looking. I wasn't listening. They would invite me for Zoom calls. I never attended any Zoom calls. I'm being honest. I didn't attend. But no one sent me any video until Matt reached out to me. So when Matt reached out to me, I said, okay, wait. Now, first of all, this is one person that I really respect a lot. And I'm thinking, okay, let me have a look at this thing. Let me check it out. When I checked it out, of course, I saw travel. And to me, well, that was my first love at network marketing. That was travel. And I was in. But then I had one small problem. The small problem that I had is I was already involved in another company, and I think I had also done about 100 personals. And I'm thinking, gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to talk to all these people? What am I going to tell them? That was my biggest problem. I prayed about it that night. That was on the 10th of November. I prayed about it. I'm like, you know what? I didn't sleep that night. I'm like, I'm just going to get a phone and call all these people. And I'll just tell them how, I got this call and I've been thinking about it the whole night and I just couldn't get sleep. And I'm like, and I think this is something that really aligns with everything in me. And I feel this might be time for me to actually move. And I just wanted to let you know about it so you get to know that, if I am not, supporting you in that field, in that company, then just so you know, I've really moved. I'll be here in the meantime to support you if you need anything, but it won't be long because I intend to go all out, all in the next couple of weeks. So I remember the following day on 11th November, I got on a call with Matt and he kind of broke down everything for me. And I told him, okay, I'm in. Boom. And I signed up. Now, it took me from 11th to the 21st for me to even start enrolling anyone, because I was still trying to prepare the to prepare my old team in my former company and trying to prepare them and just talking to them while I was dragging and preparing myself to literally come in here and start running. And the moment I talked to every single person that I had put in there, of course, some of them said, Martyn, for me, wherever you go, I'm coming with you. I'm like, okay, fine. If you're coming with me, fine. All right. So, and whoever wasn't really okay, I didn't even ask people to come with me, but most of them just said, Martyn, if you're going, I'm coming with you. If you're going, I'm coming with you. If you're going, I'm coming with you. Perfect. That is exactly what happened. And then on the 21st, that's when I started. I said, okay, let's run. And then suddenly I see those leaderboards. I'm like, okay, what is happening here? What does this mean? What does this? I didn't even know what it was. But then I saw my name on the leaderboard. I said, okay, so you mean there's a leaderboard so I can actually go to number one? I said, fine, let's go. And then boom, I started making calls. I got excited. I started making calls. I have not stopped. I'm still doing the same calls. And if you have been on the leaderboard before, you know when you are on the leaderboard this month, the following month, you want to help your team. So I mean, you need to really have this other kind of energy for you to manage to do that, to support both your team and also you yourself do personal production. Now, for me, I'm not about to stop doing personal production. And I try to always make sure that I give my team, like from the 1st to the 20th, I give that to my team and I'm helping every single person get onto the board. But in between, when I get a free time, when I'm not with anyone around me, that is when I make my own calls. I make my own calls. And then I'm able to enroll people. Then I have a break and then I have to support other people as well. And then I start, because I also want to stick, because when you look at, even the people that are following you, they want to see you on the leaderboard. So for those leaders, all of you, whoever is on this call, you need to also do personal production. Don't wait for just your team. Also, you need to do personal production, because eventually, I can tell you, this is the hardest it's going to be. I know it can be so exhausting. It can be so tiring for you to help the team and later on do your own calls and all that. But this is the hardest it's going to be. It's the hardest it's ever going to be. After this, I truly believe by June, all the phone calls you'll have made, or even after the event in Dubai, all the phone calls you have done, all the presentations, all the videos you've sent around. Now, those are the people that are going to keep coming in, calling you, hey, Martyn, now I'm ready. Hey, Helen, now I'm ready. Hey, Harriet, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. And you'll be signing them up. You will actually be overwhelmed by enrollments. You will only be overwhelmed by enrollments then if you are putting in the work now. But if you're not talking to people, don't expect to be overwhelmed by enrollments. By enrollments, I mean people calling you to sign them up and you can't even show up. That is going to happen. That is going to happen, but it will be after, and also considering how many people you've been able to talk to during this period. Okay. Now, again, like I said earlier, I don't show a presentation twice to someone. So when I show you and then you're not coming through, I'll tell you one thing. Please promise me that when you are ready, promise me that when you decide to come on board, you will call me up. Then they say, okay, I will, I promise. I'm like, are you sure? I ask you thrice, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Period. And I move on to the next person. I won't even remember you. I will just continue doing my thing because the fact that I made you, I asked you thrice. Whenever, because I know now you're going to be watching, whenever you're ready, you will call me up. And even if you don't call me up, that's okay. Because come on, I have an abundance mentality. Like I know there are 8 billion people in the world. There are so many people out there that we haven't even showed this thing to. And yes, I mean, just like David says, some will, some won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. So I'll go on to the next person, on to the next person, on to the next person. So pretty much that has been it. And I don't know if you've gotten any value from this and if you've learned anything that we should use to take this whole thing to the next level. I am always around and we are doing all the presentations every single day and the trainings on Sundays. And if you have people in Uganda, send them through. Let's kick this. Let's take it to a whole new level because we have a blessing in our hands. We have a blessing in our hands. Come to Dubai, people. Come to Dubai. Come to Dubai for that event because those pictures that we will have will just flood social media. Every single person that has been watching on the sidelines, not sure if everything is going to work out. You have no idea how many people are waiting to see us, to see us fail. Let's give them a show. Let's do it twice and take pictures. All right. So thanks everyone. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Always, 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 man. This is home. I am so fired up and I just can't wait to meet each and every one of you in Dubai. Let's go build an empire. Thank you and love you. Helen, I'll hand it over back to you.
Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. That was something. Thank you so much, Martyn and Beast Mode activated. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed week. Tomorrow is end of the week. Let's end the week in style after this training. Again, Martyn, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a blessed evening, everyone.